Friday, October the 4th. I'm hoping you all are having yourself a wonderful day. Jordan Cohen Fun TV is the place where you get positive stuff, positive vibes, and everything positive. That's what we do best here. Alright, so welcome to my live. As usual, we're going to do our regular hairstyle, but because I haven't come back live since I did my exercise, I've decided, to come live so we can go on reason and team. Alright, so I'm hoping you all are having yourself a wonderful time, and as I normally said, don't let anyone or anything spoil your day. Alright, do remember also to tap on the screen and to like up the live. Alright, it's appreciated. Natural Lifestyle, how are you doing? Boy, you're really my support, I know. It's like once you get the notification, bam, there's no doubt you are a true supporter. And remember guys, the time hot, so I have the fan on. And I know the thing go already. And it's the time at you have to keep yourself cool. Or just doing our regular hairstyle, getting my hair done with these two products as usual. Hoping you all are having yourself a wonderful day. One big up in a nice clean self in a man. Hair basically dry out, so I can shampoo it. So what you guys been up to? Talk to your nice slim friend and tell me where you guys are going with. How is your day going? Hoping no one's spoiling your guys' day, man. Lord, I give God thanks when I come across these products, because I have a lot of hair on my head, so it's a great struggle for me to take care of my hair. So I'm really glad I found out about these products. God is good, me I tell you. Yeah, man. My friend's not talking to me, or you guys busy? Please remember to tap on the screen, it's appreciated. You guys know I love and appreciate you. But let us do the right thing, alright? So as you stay with me, you just tap on your screen like this and you see your thumbs up button. Alright, sharing is caring, right? And remember over here, we do positive stuff, alright? We share and we do the right thing. And guys, remember to drink your water and to keep your body hydrated. Remember to eat your fruits and vegetables. Alright, we need that vitamin in our body. We need to stay as healthy as possible. It's too expensive to go and see the doctor. Alright. And I think flu going around or something like that, you know, so please, if you have to wear your mask, please do wear your mask. Alright, let us do the right thing. Alright, remember over here, it's the good things that we deal with over here. Alright, and we share the good things then. Always remember to take care of yourself, because no one is going to do it for you. Alright, no one is going to do it for you. And remember to brush your hair. I'm going to close the parting around the back. Spend time and take care of yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. I just love my friends. No matter what my friends, them not going to leave me, you know. Big up for themselves, you know. My friends, them not going to leave me at all. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for your continuous support. That's what we do, you know. We help each other, right? Guys, please remember to tap on the screen. It's appreciated. guys, as I said, sorry about the fan breeze, but you know we have to keep cool. We were getting a lot of rain the other day, but seems as if our time up here now it did start get back hot. So my friends, how your day going? Talk to me. How is your day going? But while I'm doing my hair, talk to me, my friends. Remember, guys, sit up on the screen for me. It's appreciated, please and thank you. Right about now, this part not as straight, but gotta do what I gotta do. Not that serious. Because my hair is dry out a bit, I'm adding some water to it. Alright, so the curls will be curling, you know. You see, before I had the product in my hair, as I normally says, I have naturally curly hair, so the product works very well on my hair. This is it. The second two, coconut curling cream. You let it tray here properly, rake it through. Adding the extreme gel on my hair. natural lifestyle. I love my hair. Thank you so much, darling. I appreciate it. Thank you. I do try to take care of my hair, you know. Because I said this is my, since I come across these products, this is my favorite hairstyle. And because I have naturally curly hair, you know, just do what I have to do. Just wash and go. That is it, man. I just wash and go. So I use two different brushes in my hair. Oh, jeez, no. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I can find some motivational videos.
When I was younger, I want to say maybe third grade.
Alright, this
I remember reading this
motivational
poem by
video is
someone
about win
called
in
Where the
silence.
Sidewalk
Alright?
This place where the cement stops and the grass an inflection point of the words. And I obviously don't remember what we talked about back then, but I certainly remember the quote. And a few weeks ago, I happened to be at the airport. walking through, and I saw a bookstore, and a Shel Silverstein book popped up in the front. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. I had that title stuck in my head. I was playing on loop, Where the Sidewalk Ends. Something's just hit you, like that title sounds perfect. It's larger than life, transitionary place. It feels like some sort of graduation. But graduation from what? To what? That's the question. Is it simply checking off the current box before moving on to the next one? Is it the end of a paved, calculated path and the beginning of something a little less defined, a little more free? Is it the place where you step away from what's expected of you and instead do what you are called, what you know and you're told is right? I guess depending on who you are and what you need, it could be any and all of those things. But as I sat 36,000 feet in the air, it kind of dawned on me, not necessarily what Shel Silverstein wanted the takeaway to be fair, right? I mean, it's a famous poem, there's a lot of analysis and writing on this, but I'm more interested in the question, what do I need personally? Now, with everything going on in my life, what would I want that place to be, where the sidewalk ends? And the more I thought about it, the more I realized it's not a transition. I don't think where the sidewalk ends is where you step out from one place and arrive in another. But I think what's more applicable in this moment is a perspective shift, almost a lifestyle invitation to straddle that line, where you have one foot on the cement, right, the stable ground, holding on to that structure we need to maintain healthy lives, to build, to take who we are and effectively share it with the world. And one foot on the grass, unpaved, no parameters, where our childlike curiosity runs rampant and reminds us that life is no standardized test. Right? Like if the cement represents the frame, the capsule, that rocket going to the moon, the grass represents the precious cargo that will be taken into orbit, that substance that must be found. And I think the reason my mind goes here is because in my life I've swayed too far in both directions. You know, I've spent entirely too much time on the sidewalk where I've limited myself, my beliefs and my trajectory. I've abandoned what I wanted to do because I was terrified to stray from what I was supposed to do. I've let routine kill creativity. I've let plans suffocate freedom and exploration. But I've also spent too much time entirely in the grass, beyond the structure, dreaming but aiming for no target, free but not grounded. Perhaps at times having worked so hard to tear down the parameters and the structure of my life that I found myself with no foundation to build upon. Right? And I think the deal is sometimes we need more sidewalk than grass, and sometimes we need more grass than sidewalk. There are times in our lives that call for exploration, and there are times in our lives where we put our heads down and build. But the critical thing is, we remember that beautiful balance between the structure that's ultimately imperative and the freedom to step beyond it so that we can pull in more life. That when things feel too stiff or constrained, maybe you lean more towards the edge of that unkempt, undefined world. And when you crave structure, when you've been wandering too long, when you want to build something with the pieces of life you've been casually collecting along the way, you lean in towards that foundation, towards that which is both known and dependable, and maybe that's where we live. As you navigate each segment of your life, it's knowing that you have your hand on the dial. The dial that will allow you to be your best at that particular moment in time, something no one knows but you. So think of that spot. What are you going through now, and how can you best position yourself to handle it? This awareness is a power, it's a strength. It's not merely passing through that place where the sidewalk ends, but I think it's an opportunity to embody, to adapt and carry on as each new chapter begins. Human beings don't see, we interpret. We don't take in what happened. We take in the implication of what happened. Everything in our world is story. It's similar to the idea of two ideologically different news organizations, right, reporting on the same event. Neither will be completely factual. They'll both uphold their individual narrative. They're not black and white, they're interpreting gray space. And our individual lives are no different. We are our own broadcasting channels, using data to support our individual narratives. See, we know what the story's going to say before the story occurs because we will make it so. We'll make life fit our beliefs. That's what it means to be human. So here's where the value lives in the context of this message. When we find ourselves in a consistent state of despair or frustration or anxiety, it's a fool's errand to look for solutions in the external world. Because everything we find, everything we come across, will support our current beliefs, our current story. That's what will keep playing in our heads. And it's why money can't bring fulfillment, and another person can't take you from incomplete to content. It's why status will never equate to happiness. Those acquisitions are like putting premium fuel in a car with a broken engine. It's just not the answer that we hoped it would be. To change your world, you must change your story. Whatever it is that needs to be changed. The location, the objective, the characters, maybe the journey all together. But it's the neural network behind your eyes that must change, not the detail it keeps in. And so if you feel stuck or feel like where you want to be seems unrealistic, you have to know right now that the very fact you think that way is the problem. So ask yourself, not your girlfriend or your boss or your neighbor, but ask yourself what a turnaround looks like. Do you know? Or have you acclimated to being unhappy? Have you even asked yourself what happiness looks like? Or is your personal broadcasting channel so hell-bent on ensuring your life outlook stays the way it is that it's not even paying attention to the data it takes in? See, I believe wholeheartedly that the first step in any facet of transformation is remembering that you have control, that things in your life that bring you down or hold you back can be changed. In fact, the very things working against you can work for you. But you have to be aware. You have to think about it. Now, I'm not a believer in magic, right? I don't think you sit back and say, I don't want to be unhappy ever again, snap your fingers and smile until the end of eternity. But I do believe that once we're aware of our manufactured shackles and our self-imposed limitation, we can start chipping away, doing the 1, 2, or 3 small things every day, tiny swings at the tree until it falls. Right? If I'm not happy with my work life, well, what does a better situation look like? What bridges that gap? I'll wake up 20 minutes earlier on weekdays and master Microsoft Excel. I'll send one message on LinkedIn asking an expert about the field I want to move into. I'll read 20 pages a day in a book related to business. You think those things are small? See what they look like compounded in a year. Not only that, this is the most important part. You are taking the power back. You're taking control. And that's what feels good. That's where we get our identity. You get a little disappointed at how you let your physique slip when you look in the mirror. Don't be sad about it every day. Again, ask yourself what the inverse looks like and start with small things. Subtract one sports drink and add one green smoothie. Double your water intake. Do a 10-minute daily workout on YouTube. Like the pieces are out there. And to find yourself again is to realize that they're out there. Realize that you're playing a movie on loop in your head that isn't right. It's just not you. And well, what movie do you want to be playing? In an ideal world, scroll through the library, find it, click play, and start doing the small things that make it real. There's so much power in progress. I've seen this unfold in different areas of my life, but particularly as a writer, as a speaker, it's like you identify who you want to be, you start making tiny steps, and after a while, you're surrounded by the change that you've created. How can you not believe something that you're starting to live? It has to become your identity because it is you. It's around you. You breathe it. So look around and realize the malleability of your situation. And if what you find is not you, good. Here is your opportunity to tear down the old and construct the new. You can do that because you have control. Because it's within your grasp. So start the new movie, the new story, make yourself the hero, and set out to find yourself again.
Welcome to my live, guys. Do remember to tap on the screen for me. It's appreciated. I'm here styling my hair.
The clock won't stop ticking. Days won't stop slipping. It's time. Things won't suddenly ease. The difficulty does not remove itself. The path does not narrow. Perfect moment doesn't exist. Flawless beginning is fiction. The stars will never align for you. It's time. Not tomorrow, not someday down the road, but this very so you don't need all the answers. You don't need to know or be sure or be armed with guarantees. Your job, your only requirement is to be good. It's time to trade fear for opportunity. Someday for right now. It's time to stop thinking small, stop seeing what you want as a reach, to stop looking at success as a stranger. It's time to sit down and convince yourself that what you want can be accomplished. When it's as
That is
real
right.
as
What you want can be accomplished.
when it's as probable
That
as
is
the
right.
completion of a single step. It will happen because it has to. It's time. At some point, you have to see that you're not simply playing conservative. You're not being a perfectionist. It's not about being okay with where you are. No, if we're going going to get anywhere. Let's be truthful. Let's call it what it
Guys,
is.
the shrinkage is
These
real, you know.
ideas, these excuses
Shrinkage
are a
is real. Look at my
derivative
hair now.
of fear. The
My hair
problem
shrink
with
a lot.
possibility is that it's incredibly hard to quantify. Technically, if you've never had it, you've never lost it. And that is how we rationalize staying where we are. That's why we compartmentalize the things we want most as dreams. But for a second, let's be bigger. Let's start from the premise that what life can provide or become is limitless. It is truly infinite. And when you sit on an idea or you refuse to begin, you are in fact losing. Every single thing around you, everything. At one point, it began. At one point, someone summoned the courage to reach out and take what's in front of them. Maybe you do the same. Maybe you take that step. Maybe the first few times go terribly wrong. Maybe it's terrifying. Maybe you find out who has your back, who your real friends are, and maybe those truths scare you. But guess what? Guess what those steps turn into? Confidence, amplified purpose, and most importantly, more steps. You get to see right in front of you as your demons diminish, evaporate. The higher you climb, the better the view, the longer the road, the greater the experience. I would rather fall 1,000 times and continuously get back up stronger than be someone who looks at the world through a window like it's some fairy tale. Because at the end of the day, sure, they have no scratches, scrapes, or bruises, but I have no limits, and I'd make that trade any day. It is time to stop separating what you want from what you have and take that step forward. It's time to go get it. No.
That is right. It's time to go get it. Alright guys, so I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to come back because I'm going to do my eyebrow. Alright, I'm going to get my eyebrows done. But as usual, this is the finished look of my hair. I use the Contour Coconut Curling Cream and the Extreme Gel. It's been a while I'm using it, and so I'm really glad I come in contact with these products. Alright, so please
one is stopping you.
continue
Nothing
to listen, win in silence.
In fact, if you
I'm going
choose
for
to
my
be,
eyebrow
you are
stuff and come back.
unstoppable. So take a look in the mirror, lace up your shoes, open the door, and begin. It's time. The cheat code in life is understanding the significance of getting to one. Because if you can get one, you can absolutely get two. And if you can get two, you can get 3, 4, 5, 5,000, 500,000, 5 million. Once you realize that something is possible, you're no longer the same person you were before. Your hands need not be held to the sky as though the universe is going to drop something into them. No, you cracked the code. You have the info. And the burden is now placed directly onto your shoulders. That little question, is this possible? This getting to 1 was your proof of that. And then the obvious accompanying question, now what are you going to do? What are you going? Because the race isn't to 1 million, it's to 1. 1 is the power, 1 is the reassurance, 1 is everything you need. If you can sell 1 painting, you can sell 50,000. If you can make 1 3-pointer, you can make thousands of these days. If you can create 1 genius marketing video that goes viral, you can create hundreds, thousands, millions. Again, the evidence, you got 1. Anything beyond 1.
Nice. Thank you guys for
it's a
staying.
testing of methods. It's becoming relentless in your pursuit to repeat the process with the pieces at your disposal. But make no mistake, those pieces are there. Everything you need is there. So long as you get to 1. I had to recently break through to this year. Like so many of us, I'm an ambitious person. I love the game. I want to add value to more people, reach more listeners, generate more revenue, scale impact, all that stuff, of course. But for a while, I just couldn't figure out how. I became almost disillusioned. What am I doing wrong? Maybe, what if maybe, do I dare even think for a second that I've gone as far as I can go? But was ultimately rescued. Rescued by the realization that I was asking the world for things I didn't have instead of leveraging what I did. I needed to separate the value I possessed from the logistics that would transport it. Because, and this is what we forget, I've already performed my miracle. I've added value to 1 person, and if you can add value to 1, why not 10? Why not 10 million? It's not a product issue. It's a scaling question. The car works. Figure out how to get it to the racetrack. The tool is effective. Now get it into the hands of the builder. Do you see the difference, the confidence that comes with that? Instead of doubting all that you bring to the world, asking yourself if more is possible, you say, yeah, of course it is, because I've already done it. Here is my proof. Now what's around me that I can use to deliver it? How can I try things, reposition things, figure out how to scale and get further? But I know it's possible. So many of us have already gotten to 1. We're adding value. We're doing what we believe in. But we're asking the wrong question. We're still asking whether more is possible. It is. The burden is just on you to bring it to fruition. The burden is on you to find a way to scale the value contained in your 1 thing. And by the way, if you haven't arrived at 1 yet, buckle up. Right, getting to 1 was one of the best periods of my life. Finding your value proposition, enjoying the process, exploring, finding that intersection of value and personal contentment. You'll eventually arrive there. But remember, for you, the goal is not 1 million, it's 1. 1 idea that works, 1 approach that lights you up, 1 action that opens your eyes to the upside, that makes the world better to those around you. When you found your 1 thing, when you know it makes a difference, then you move on to the scaling chapter, right? Then how do we turn 1 into 1 million? But they're 2 different questions. So remember that moving forward. No matter how stuck you feel, if you have 1, you simultaneously have a little seed capable of producing infinity. It just needs attention. Trust yourself to work through the logistics, because that's all it is. Transform the if into how, and start building that staircase straight to the moon. life is perspective. So during the good times, find gratitude. And during the difficult times, find the opportunity. When you have the answers, when you know, be proud of your knowledge. And when you don't, celebrate all the wisdom to come. When the sun is shining, cherish the warmth on your skin, and when it's not, learn to run in the rain. When you're focused, appreciate the clarity. And when life feels chaotic, embrace the chance to manufacture order. When people come into your life, value the ride that you'll share. And when they leave, take note of all they gave along the way. When you win, reflect back on all the hard work that made it possible. And when you lose, take in the lessons, but even winning. When things go as planned, revel in your ability to execute. But when your plan and life's plans diverge, remember that some things are simply outside of your control. And now, this moment is a chance to identify and utilize the things that are in your control. Henry David Thoreau, it's not what you look at, it's what you see. So see the world as you'd like it. Never turning a blind eye to reality, but realizing how much control you have over making reality your own. We are the builders. The world around us merely provides the components and the pieces. And if one were to live as though there were value in every moment, they would inevitably find themselves looking for that value, perhaps even when it was difficult to find. Most of us, when most would hang their heads and walk right by it. I look out my window and see a world that is neither valuable or valueless. I see a blank canvas in which we are tasked with making that decision. Life is a roller coaster ride. It has ups and downs, the obvious and the unexpected. And while some think nothing of the high points and dwell on the low points, there are an abundance of resources, of beauty, of joy, reserved for those who understand how great the highs are and how valuable the lows. Who take what comes, not as walls to live within, but as parts to assemble. Not as antithetical to their hopes and dreams, but as the very foundation they will build those hopes and dreams upon. This world is not for you just as much as it is entirely. It calls for you to be that artist.
Just to clean it up.
For what you decide will inevitably take. There was a point a handful of years back where I had one of the most important breakthroughs in my life. And I've talked about this with close to me, family and friends, clients, business associates, and it seems like there's a commonality amongst all. And maybe, depending on the person, it happened in a different way, certainly a different time. But everyone, at one point or another, comes face to face with the realization that they have a tremendous amount of control over their lives. And it's at that moment where one becomes empowered. It's like you realize you have the key to the cell you've been locked in this whole time. And at that moment, one is prompted to ask, well, why not start living like that? You know, there will always be responsibility and sacrifice in life. But that awareness makes one ask, well, what am I sacrificing for? Where am I going? Am I spending time with people that lift me up? Am I doing things that contribute to a greater vision? And perhaps most importantly, am I even living a life that is true to myself? Because I'll tell you something, our time here flies by. Not only will next month, next year, next decade be here before you know it, but it's not even guaranteed. And if one doesn't take the time to look in the mirror and ask the tough questions, life will keep on ticking. Time will not stop. No one's going to walk up to you and point out the fact that you're just going through the motions here. No, that one's on you. You have to see that this world can become what you decide it will be. That you are presented the tools, but tools require an architect and a creator. Tools require someone in seeing what is not yet there to pick them up and build. And so maybe this is the time for you to ask, what am I building? Where am I going? And when my day starts, both feet hit the ground and I walk out the door, what am I moving towards? Maybe today is the day you realize that there are parts of your life that don't need to be there, but you can cut away. People that don't deserve your time, that don't elevate you or contribute to your well-being. Maybe there are places you're going because that's where you've always gone. Things you're doing because that's what you've always done. But you don't need to live life on repeat. If you're not happy about it, how about doing something to change it? There is nothing in your life that can't be adjusted or altered. Just like yesterday is now a story, so is the idea that you are confined to a specific set of parameters. Break down those walls. See things not as they are, but as they can be if you have the courage to walk away from old stories and characters. What if today you created a new ending? One that lights you up in the morning, contributes to your sense of purpose when you close your eyes at night. Again, remember, no one will come up and hand that to you. No one will let you know you're selling yourself short. That transformation must be internally prompted. And so I hope you'll ask. I hope you'll ask the questions that you've been neglecting for far too long. I hope today can be the first page in an entirely new chapter. A chapter in a story that is truly and entirely yours. I had a friend recently tell me consistency is more important than intensity. Interesting. I put it in my back pocket and moved on with my day. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized how valuable those words are, how necessary. I think because typically my brain associates the acquisition of more with an increase in intensity. It's like you want more, okay, find a way to give more, to be better. That's the equation my brain was familiar with. And while not necessarily wrong, what it can do is diminish the power of showing up. It neglects the compound effect. The reality is that consistency over time becomes intensity. A snowball rolling downhill doesn't just increase in size, it increases in speed. Intensity is second to consistency because consistency creates intensity. Consistency is the material from which everything else is made. And we forget that. Thinking about how much bigger, better, stronger we'd like to be. Why can't I just leap a mile? Well, my friend, it turns out you don't have to. Miles are comprised of single steps. I wanted my run yesterday to be about 3/4 intensity. Decided the goal would be to land just under 8 minutes per mile, 7:59. Would put me in a good spot for my plan for the week. But as happens, from time to time, the sun, the heat, my body weren't about it, right? And halfway through the run, I'm a little higher than I wanted to be, averaging about 8:01, 8:02 per mile, a little above my mark. And I thought to myself, you have to be better. You have to make a move right now. You have to find something in there. But did I? Did I have to find anything? Because it turns out I was right on track and didn't see it. What I needed to do was simply hold the 8-minute pace, 8:01. Just hold it. That keeps me in the game. Then we kick it up at the home stretch. And the last sprint will be enough to get my cumulative average down to 7:59 per mile. No miracles here. Forget the intensity. All the world is asking of me is consistency. Show up, step by step. Keep myself in the game. It's amazing that when you're hurting, the mind plays highlight reels of everything you lack, everything you're not doing. Right? It's reaching. We get so uncomfortable or impatient that we think we need to perform magic tricks. And it's like, no, keep showing up. Keep yourself in line. The intensity is a derivative of the consistency, and it will make its presence known. So during those first 7 miles, I showed up, I committed, and I held on. Right? Understanding the assignment, big picture. Not only about consistency, staying calm, and then as planned, picked it up at the last mile, hit that goal. See, these little mental games are packed with value. They reinforce bigger picture truths. Show up, put in the work, find your rhythm, and hold. Don't stress yourself out looking at finish lines you have not yet crossed. Don't let the delta between where you are and where you want to be intimidate you. Like, that's precisely the reason people quit and walk away. They get so caught up in where they are not that they forget little steps over time are what bring about change. They don't understand that the snowball is increasing in velocity as well as it rolls down the hill. That by staying focused, their output becomes the avalanche. So when you feel like the world is increased in size and its obstacles in number, know that there is value in holding the 8, the 8:01, the 8:02. Know the power of simply getting on base, of getting up again and again and again, of putting yourself in position to succeed. Because your time to sprint will arrive. And when it does, you'll be battle-tested and prepared. But the sprint only matters.
Okay, I need to charge my boombox. Alright guys, let me show you the flowers that I planted the other day. For some reason it started to bloom. I didn't even know it would have bloomed so fast. So let me go and show you guys. It's such a pretty flowers. Why should it? It's totally closed up. Never mind, the flowers don't want to see it at all. It's closed up. You see, maybe after a certain time it closed back up. But at least you guys still can see one little something, something. You understand? And this is the other one. I never know the flowers whether actually closed up already. So pretty. We were getting a lot of rain. Oh, Paul come and fix something for me and I didn't even realize. Come and catch up the tree for me. So cool. Now I want the rain also. Let my grass grow back green and pretty. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being on the live with me. I'm going to get myself something to eat. Take care of yourself and have yourself a wonderful weekend. And remember to do good always.